This is lesson 9.2, which is about circles. Our essential question is, what are the geometric properties of a circle and how do they relate to algebraic representations of a circle? So circles are another conic section. If we look at the definition, so we know what a circle is, but a circle, the standard form of an equation of a circle is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. So r is the radius, h and k is the center of the circle. So you can see this picture over here has a center at negative 1, 5 and has a radius of 4. And so we have x plus 1 squared plus y minus 5 squared equals 4 squared. So our first example is, how can we write an equation in standard form that describes a circle set with center at 2, negative 1 and a radius of 3? So that would become x minus 2 squared plus y plus 1 squared equals 3 squared. If you want to simplify that even further, you can write x minus 2 squared plus y plus 1 squared equals 9. So next, more examples of writing the equation. So this first one is centered at the origin. So that would just be, we can think of it as x minus 0 squared plus y minus 0 squared equals the square root of 3 squared. And we can simplify that and just write x squared plus y squared equals 3. And then our next one, we have x plus 3 squared plus y minus 5 squared equals 5 halves squared. And if you want to simplify the 5 halves squared, you can simplify that to 25 fourths. Okay, and our last one again is a completing the square example. So how can we rewrite the equation in standard form of a circle? So this one, you can see we need to complete the square for both x and y. So how I'm going to start organizing this is I'm going to put x squared, and then I'm going to put the plus 4x right next to it. And then I'm going to leave a space. Okay, and I'm going to keep that in one parentheses. And then I'm going to do the same thing with y. So I have y squared. I'm going to bring the other y term with it. And then plus something. And I'm going to move the 4 to the other side. So I'm subtracting 4, which makes it negative 4. Okay, so we're going to double complete the square on this one. So we're looking for half of our middle term squared. So half of 4 is 2. 2 squared is 4. So I'm going to add a 4 right there. And we know to balance the equation, we have to add a 4 over here as well. So then my y terms, I'm going to take half of negative 8, which is negative 4. Squared is 16. And so then I'm going to add 16 over here as well. So that's going to give me, if I look at this first, I know that this is going to turn into x plus 2 squared, because what multiplies to 4 and adds to 4 is 2 and 2, so x plus 2 squared. And then my y's will turn into y minus 4 squared, because what multiplies to 16 and adds to negative 8 is negative 4 and negative 4. And then if I simplify what I've got going on over here, the 4's cancel, and I'm just left with 16. So that would be my equation. And it says to identify the center and the radius. So I know that the center of my circle would be at negative 2, 4. And my radius would be the square root of 16, which is just 4. So our last one is to solve a linear quadratic system. So the first thing I would do is I would take the linear equation and I would solve it for one of the variables. So if I look at that first equation, I can get the y alone on the right hand side. So I can take 3x minus 5 And if I move the negative y to the other side, it becomes positive. So y is equal to 3x minus 5. I can then take that 3x minus 5 and I can substitute it in for the y on the second equation. So what that gives me is x squared plus 3x minus 5 squared minus 25 equals 0. So now I am going to distribute out the 3x minus 5 squared. So that's really 3x minus 5 times 3x minus 5. So I can FOIL it. And that gives me 9x squared minus 15x. So it would be minus 30x plus 25 minus 25 equals 0. So this right here just came from me distributing out the 3x minus 5 squared. So now simplifying, if I add the x squared to 9x squared, I get 10x squared minus 30x, and that plus 25 minus 25 is going to cancel. So now I'm just factoring out the greatest common factor. So I can factor out a 10x, which leaves me with x minus 3. So that tells me if I use the zero product property, each of those factors set equal to 0. So 10x equals 0 means that x equals 0, and x minus 3 equals 0 means that x equals positive 3. So what I found is I just found my two x values, and now I need to use either equation. Hint, this equation right here is going to be the easiest. So we're going to use this equation to find our y's. So I can take 3 times 0 minus 5, and I get negative 5. And I can take 3 times 3 minus 5, which would be 9 minus 5, and I get 4. So that means my two solutions are 0, negative 5, and 3, 4. You could also find those by graphing. You're going to be graphing a circle and a line, and you're finding the 2 points where the line intersects the circle.